About Eledumare, the universal Lord of diversity, the Master of Holies, and the Holy of Holies. The universe is created in diversity. There are different galaxies, planets, stars and so on out there. They all have different conditions and follow different rules. For example, the planet Earth will revolve around the Sun in 365 and 1/4 days obediently following the rules. The same with other planets. Some being out there is in charge. The being is called Eledumare. Other abbreviations of the name are Eledumare, Oloirun, Aluo, or Eledua, etc. Different nations have different names for the being. The being has no image and never dies. The being is the universal Lord of diversity, because whatever he creates, he created them all in diversity. He created you, and you have to worship him, and submit to him 100%, but for you to earn his blessings, you have to respect and honor diversity among other obligations. We have planet gods like the earthly gods. There are so many of them spread across the planet Earth, for example, that you know without mentioning. We are on the planet Earth. The conditions on the planet Earth are different from the conditions on the planet Mars, planet Jupiter, planet Venus and so on. Your earthly gods on the planet Earth are not known on Mars, Jupiter, Venus and so on. But Eledumare is known on Mars, Jupiter, Venus and other planets. Eledumare is the Lord of diversity.
Eledumare has made everything in different conditions and created different rules. On our planet Earth, the water planet, there are thousands of species of fishes in the rivers, lagoons, lakes and so on, not related to each other and operating under different conditions and rules. These rivers, lagoons and lake species can't even survive the ocean conditions. Can you say mackerel fish is related to shark? The answer is no, and many others of the fishes. Eledumare, the Lord of diversity, also created thousands of species of four-legged animals, not related to each other and operating under different conditions and rules. We have the lions, zebras, tigers, giraffes, rams, goats, cattle, dogs, cats, pigs and so on. Ram, for example, is not related to zebra and many other examples. Our wonderful Eledumare, the Lord of diversity, also created thousands of species of winged creatures, the birds, not related to each other and operating under different conditions and rules. Think of the list of birds in your mind. Can you say a duck is related to the eagle? No. Never related to each other. What about the legless and limbless, crawling creatures, like the snail, worms, etc.? There are thousands of species created not related to each other and operating under different conditions and rules. What about the two-legged creatures? The Eledumare, the Lord of diversity, created several species of two-legged creatures not related to each other and operating under different conditions and rules. In this group, we have the human beings created in several diversities not related to each other, across the planet Earth in different characters. Humans belong to the hominids, the great apes or hominidae. Other families of hominidae are chimpanzees, gorillas and orangutans. Humans are arrogant, referred to as Homo sapiens, which means in Latin, wise man. There are different types of humans created by Eledumare unrelated to each other and often identified by their color, cranial bones, facial features, body structure, continental natural settlement, types of hair and so on. Most of these races are not from the same source and not related to each other, just like other types of creatures defined above. But a lot have been programmed to believe they are from Adam and Eve. The diversity age of some race outdated the existence of Adam and Eve. The longer you exist, the more the diversity you experienced. Generations upon generations developing into different culture and languages. In Nigeria alone, there are 250 ethnic groups. Do you know how many years it takes for one ethnic group or dialect to develop from another? Thousands of years. Apart from measuring through diversity aging, Eledumare brought the DNA science, which in many instances have proved some bones, outdating the existence of Adam and Eve. Black Africans are not descendants of Adam and Eve.
We have been talking about creatures with blood. What about other creatures without blood? The planet Earth consists of many other things like the trees, mountains, plain land, air, water, and so on. They are also created in diversity. The Eledumare created diversity in the mountains, the air we breathe, the water, the trees, the plain lands, and so on. Bless the Lord, Eledumare. We have two types of diversity, natural and artificial. The natural derives from nature, and the artificial derives from our ways of life. Human beings are destined to behave in diverse ways. The PTC of life is linked mainly to artificial diversity, and it means programming, diversity, and competition. A newly born baby knew nothing about religion, culture, ideology, and other artificial diversity examples. As this child grows up, he or she is taught about culture, religion, ideology, and so on. Substantially, what matters is the where, when, why, with whom, and how the child was brought up, and not the where, when, why, with whom, and how the child was born. Take a child born in an Islamic society to be brought up in the Christian society. That child will most likely be a Christian and vice versa. In the same way, take a child born in a particular culture or ethnic group to be raised in another culture or ethnic group. That child will exhibit the characteristics of the raising culture or ethnic group. This is called programming. The programming of children is done through parents, guardians, government policies and practices, neighborhoods, schools, friends, religious institutions, and other exposures. After the child is programmed, he or she will be identified as part of the raising diversity, for example Christian or Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist, or of the particular culture or ethnic group or ideology. These diverse groups or interests then compete for limited resources on the planet Earth. You may witness campaigns from these diverse groups and interests. This is the competition. The only spirit being you cannot compete with is Eledumare, the Lord of Diversity, the real Holy of Holies. We are essentially in this world to manage diversity and competition. This explains why we should not even fight one another, because so doing is artificial. But today, the whole world is fighting because of artificial diversity. We can use the PTC education to control conflicts arising out of our diversities. Those who are submitting to the ministry, and will of Eledumare, the Lord of Diversity, have no human founders. There may be promoters but no human founders. The ministry is natural and original from himself, Eledumare, the Lord of Diversity. There is no religious book written by any human being. Your book is written by Eledumare, the Lord of Diversity, and can be found in observation of nature, scientific discoveries, wisdom, and spiritualism. Eledumare has endowed some people with power and knowledge to discover his many powers for the benefits of all.
You have an obligation to protect and promote submitting members in body and in spirit, and see yourself above those who submit to planet gods alone. Set up protective trust systems for members. You may encounter those who submit to planet gods, but still pay ultimate submission to Eledumare. That is okay. Whatever those who submit to planet gods are following is also created by Eledumare, but in diversity. Everyone must submit to Eledumare apart from the planet gods. Eledumare is a supreme being with spirit and the power of be. The house of Eledumare on our planet Earth is Iga, or Ago, or Ile. When you are in Iga Eledumare, or Ago Eledumare, or Il Eledumare, the house of Eledumare, never bring any image or reflections of any planet gods, and never bring in any idolish image. When you are in Iga, the house, you are in the universe. Eledumare, the Master of Holies and the Holy of Holies, the King of the universe, the omnipotent and omnipresent, is the commander-in-chief of your life. He can make it, break it, destroy it, bless it, take it without anybody's permission and without questions or queries. For example, if the head of the army of a country approaches the commander-in-chief of that country, he has to drop his guns and troops at the gate. In the same way, if you approach Eledumare, particularly in Iga, you have to drop your earthly symbol of powers. Eledumare has no image. Eledumare is a spirit being with power of be. The more you look, the less you see. The beginning of spiritual problems for some people is to believe, as preached by some, that Eledumare created you in his own image. No. That's an insult on Eledumare, the universal Lord of Diversity. Does it mean he has eyes, intestines, etc. like you? Does it mean he goes to toilet like you or do all those things you do as human beings? What color is he? Black, white or yellow? And what sex is he? Remember, I have been using he, I could have used she. When you are praying in Eledumare, you have to pray alone, or in a non-leading group. If you allow someone to lead you, your prayer will not be answered because that person could be a sinner. A sinner cannot lead you in a pure prayers. When you are in Eledumare, you are doing pure prayers. It is you and your Eleda or Creator, the Eledumare. No one should lead you in prayers in Iga, because a sinner cannot lead you in pure prayers, and only Eledumare knows who is a sinner or not. Anyone could lead you in prayers and praises outside Iga Eledumare. That's outside the universal house of the Lord Almighty Eledumare. Eledumare gives birth to you in a pure form. You must approach him in pure form, and return to him in pure form. Give instructions never to allow your body to be disposed of in planet sins or with planet sins. Give instructions that the last movement of your body, if possible, should be through Iga Eledumare. When you are submitting your prayers and wishes to Eledumare, do not pray or wish in the name of any mortals, neither should you face any planet gods or shrines, because none is comparable to Eledumare, the Lord of Diversity, the Master of Holies and the Holy of Holies. Eledumare is a living Almighty Lord, and thou shalt not seek favor of Eldumare in the name of any mortals. If you are praying in Iga Eledumare, do not place curse on your enemy, or wish anyone bad for yourself. Pray positively and not negatively. May Eledumare curse and destroy my enemies. This is not acceptable prayer. May Eledumare free me from my enemy. This is acceptable. Try to wish your enemies well. If they are well, you will be well too, or even better. Set day or days apart individually or in non-leading groups that you will submit to Eledumare in your best appearance. Dress well and make the best appearance days. When you are in Iga Eledumare, be careful because you are in a pure place. Eledumare can stamp on your grace that no human being can derail. Be very careful. Do not enter with any earthly idols, or earthly representations of any religion or spirit. Please be careful. Eledumare has the power of be. Respect diversity. Your Creator, the Eledumare, is the Lord of Diversity. You must respect diversity. Compete with other diversity positively and set time and dates individually, or in groups to appease the other diverse interests or groups for those who dear the Blessed Ones. Blessed are those who respect diversity. The planet Earth is a planet of land, air and water with many creations of the power of Eledumare. Eledumare is God of science, wisdom, nature and spirit. Eledumare created everything, and when you are confused, seek answers from nature. When you gather together, discuss science, wisdom, spiritualism and nature. Study the creations and those beyond and use them physically and spiritually.
Set day or days apart individually or in groups as pilgrims to explore the great diversity power of Eledumare across the planet Earth and beyond. The Eledumare is the Lord of Diversity, who has spread his power everywhere in the planet Earth and beyond. Explore the diverse creations to expand your physical and spiritual abilities. The spirit of Eledumare is everywhere and is not limited to a particular place or region. Eledumare is omnipotent and omnipresent. The Eledumare has the power to make things happen, and you can call on Eledumare from all directions, as Eledumare is one and everywhere. Eledumare has given knowledge to lots of people. Invite them to share in the knowledge and wisdom. Eledumare is God of science, wisdom, spiritualism and nature. Share in their knowledge and award them honors. Something creates something. You know you were born of your father and mother, and your father and mother were born of their fathers and mothers and so on, till you can no longer trace back. You get to a confusing stage. Who is the first to be created of your diversity? Or who is the first male and female giving birth to others? Beginning of life comes from diverse rain droplets. Human beings are fruits of combination of water, soil and air. Your body is made of water, soil and air, which include the air soul, the energy from space. The air soul is what makes you breathe and energize. Water and air mist in the heavens, and rain down to the earth, and germinated to human beings in diverse forms. Life is in the rain. Life is dropped from heaven in diverse forms. When you die, the air, or the soul, leaves the body to Eledumare. The remainder of your body is water and soil, which if mixed with earthly air and new air soul, also germinates to another life like maggots. Nurse your body with water, soil products and breath good air. Use water, air and soil products in your pure prayers, to avert troubles and to harvest opportunities. Your place of submission to Eledumare is Iga Eledumare, or Ago Eledumare, or Ile Eledumare. The place for submission for Eledumare shall be a sacred and silent place. No earthly god's symbols shall be allowed in. No one should lead you to submission in Iga Eledumare because you don't know if they are sinners or evils. A sinner or evil mindset cannot purely lead you in submission to Eledumare. In the earthly religions, or when you are before earthly gods, a sinner can lead you. Submission to Eledumare is beyond earthly gods or earthly religions. It is the Holy of Holies. It is advisable to refresh your head and inner body with water, but not compulsory. Take a shot of water and clean your head with water. You can submit in a non-leading group or individually on a web of 8. On our planet, Eledumare displays to you in the star heart and or the heart star. The symbol displays both. That's the only symbol allowed inside the Iga Eledumare and represents the air soul alive with your heart. Display good heart and star life. Eledumare is the Lord of diversity and competition. Compete with one another positively. Be wary of people who would like to destroy you upon competition. In Iga Eledumare, you can pray for yourself, living loved ones, the recently departed souls and your ancestors. Do not bring their pictures, or earthly representations inside the Iga. After you have finished praying for the departed souls, you can then leave the Iga Eledumare for the earthly hall, with their pictures for further earthly prayers and praises. You can bring in their pictures to the earthly hall as long as it is not for worshipping. Do not worship no one in Iga Eledumare, than Eledumare himself. You will be condemned if you worship loved ones or departed souls, but is okay to pray for loved ones and departed souls. You will also be condemned if you knowingly bring earthly religious symbols inside Iga Eledumare. It is a pure place and Eledumare has the power of being. Administrators of Iga Eledumare should put a warning at the entrance that no earthly religious symbols are allowed.
Praise Eledumare with the best of music to lift your spirit to him. The praising should be outside the Iga Eledumare. Iga should remain silent. Best of blessings as you submit your soul to your Creator, the Lord of Diversity, the Eledumare, the Holy of Holies. Olarun Eledumare, the Creator of the universe and all that is in it. The following are the practices you must follow. 1. Submit to Eledumare as a supreme being, the universal Lord of Diversity, the Holy of Holies. 2. Seek knowledge in the books written by Eledumare, which is in nature discoveries, scientific discoveries, spiritualism and wisdom. Set days to gather together as needed to discuss scientific discoveries, nature, spiritualism and wisdom. Avoid discussing unfounded stories. Invite knowledgeable and endowed people, and for so doing, improves your wisdom and appreciation of Eledumare. 3. Pay respect and dues to diverse interests and compete positively, but be wary of people who may want to destroy you. 4. Pilgrimage individually or in groups to explore the diverse creations of Eledumare on the planet and beyond. 5. Fast in the seasons of the sun and or of the moon, if your health conditions permit. 6. Offer charities, create happy times and make Thanksgiving individually and or in groups. Celebration advised and approved. 1. Quarterly Ancestors' Day, quarters to pray for your ancestors for repose of their souls and for peace on them. 2. Birthdays and first tree planting, plant a tree, if possible, for a newborn within 30 days of birth. 3. The Peace Month, month you want to make peace and forgive those who have wronged you. 4. Mother's Day, 5. Father's Day. 6. Friend's Day. 7. Lover's Day. 8. Children's Day. 9. The Star Day by the solar. 10. The Heart Day by the lunar. 11. The Water Week. 12. Thanksgiving and Charity Day, individual and in group. 13. The Diversity Month, every 13th month, the month of giving to diverse interests or groups. 14. Moonlight Fasting and Celebration, for 2 weeks. 15. Starlight Fasting and Celebration, for 2 weeks. 16. Tree Planting Week. 17. Monthly Farm Harvest and Celebration. Eledumare, the Master of Holies and the Holy of Holies, the King of the Universe, the Omnipotent and Omnipresent, is the Commander-in-Chief of your life.
Some frequent questions. Does this ministry believe there's God?
Yes.
Does this ministry stop you from practicing your initial religion?
No.
Does this ministry have a head?
No, everyone can worship Eledumare in his or her capacity.
Does this ministry have a book that serves as guide?
The book is written by the Creator himself and can be found in the study of the nature, science, technology and wisdom.
What does the ministry believe on life after death?
Yes. The ministry draws from nature. Aircrafts are produced using the biotechnology of birds, submarine, the whale, computer, the brain and so on. Someone who died is like someone asleep.
Does this ministry have worship centers?
Eledumare is in progress, but worshippers can worship in our various centers across the country.
What day of the week is most special to the ministry?
All day is important because people were born and died any day.